8 o'clock, there were 20,000 fans in there. It was incredible to see. People say that boxing is dead or things are going wrong, but when boxing is good, boxing is amazing. And people just wanted a proper night out tonight, and it started at 8 o'clock. We had fights throughout. I thought Riatpur did really well. Congo Westman was a brilliant fight, but then the main event. Liam Smith was confident throughout this. This was the fight that he really wanted. This was the fight that he waited for, and we finally got it, and he finished it in devastating fashion. I think a lot of people in his camp believed maybe it could be a stoppage, but definitely would come out on top, but that was emphatic. And the atmosphere, that's why we love boxing. We saw it tonight. Chris Eubank Jr., one of the biggest names in our sport, and Liam Smith showed why. Good fundamentals, top quality fighter, world level, world champion. Done everything, and he knew exactly what to expect, and obviously very proud of him given the week and the build-up. There was a lot of attention, a lot of pressure, and he came in and he enjoyed it, and he was extremely confident, and in the end it was a formality. Thank you all the media and the press. This event just got bigger and bigger and bigger over the 8 to 10 weeks, and we had a treat tonight, and it was a unbelievable victory for Liam Smith, for Liverpool, and delighted to be here now with the winner. Liam, obviously it was something that you predicted. It was something that you were very confident about, but how do you feel after that?
I feel obviously great the way I should feel after a win like that, but I was confident I could beat Chris Eubank 10 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, yesterday and today. Obviously, it was in great fashion. I've just beat him in, but it was just a prime case of what got said all week. You know, Chris's chin's great. It was like Chris could never be hurt. So it baffled me a few times, and I just said all along, I don't think because Chris has got a great chin, he cannot be hurt, and that was the best way to answer it. You get it with little gloves on, the right spot, you're going, no matter how good your chin is. There's been boxers past, present, who've got as good a chins, if not better chins, than Chris Eubank Jr. And obviously that showed exactly that.
Joe, I was calling you in the week saying, make sure Liam stays on it. You were like, you have nothing to worry about, and you filled me with confidence for 8 to 10 weeks, and I think you believed in your fighter more than anyone. I think we were all confident, but you knew what Liam was, and we saw it tonight.
Yeah, do you know what, Ben? I just want to congratulate Liam on your win. Well done, Beef. And do you know what, Ben? It's when he trains as hard as he trains in the gym, and they leave no stone unturned. And I seen a comment the other day, some fool non-boxing soft cunt that doesn't know boxing say, oh, he was in David Lloyd's on a treadmill, he was on a recovery session, you know, he trained really hard for this, showed Chris the respect he deserves, and you know, it proved in his performance tonight. I did tell you, you know, a lot of people are overestimating Chris's power and underestimate Liam's. I told you in the hotel too, said Liam touches him, he'll know what time it is. You know what? Look, strange things have happened in boxing, and I'm not really that shocked. I'll take the victory, but he was coming away with the victory by KO or by points decision tonight, definitely.
As you say, you weren't that shocked,
yeah.
But were you frustrated with the amount of media, fans, everyone almost looking like it was a foregone conclusion? We all knew this was a tougher fight than Conor Ben, but I think there was a lot of media that were favouring Chris Eubank Jr. How did that affect you?
Yeah, not really. You know what? I've had eyes on Eubank for a lot of years. You know, I know, you know, he's not fundamentally the most best boxer out there, and I've got a man next to me here that can do everything. You know, he's got this, and Chris underestimated him. I truly believe in a one-trick pony chugging forward. I lost him for a little bit in the third round, you know, because he's a ballsy cunt, but he got back to it in the fourth, and he just pulled that knockout out, and you know, he's just a fantastic fighter. There's nothing he can't do.
Liam, obviously you've achieved a lot in your career. You've done everything I imagine that you could have dreamed of. How does tonight rank in amongst those achievements?
My teeth stayed in, so it's fucking right up there. No, look, the whole the whole night taken into consideration. You know, a sold out Manchester Arena, Chris Eubank's a huge name, Sky pay-per-view, and to do something kind of everyone said I couldn't do, not no one thought I'd do, basically everyone told me I couldn't do it. You know, obviously it ranks right up there with the best nights of my career.
What I will say is Chris Eubank Jr took a risk tonight, a risk that he didn't have to take, and he is a fighting man. He is a real fighter, and he stepped in there. There was a lot of pressure on him tonight, and I think he will have known how good you were. He probably knows now the levels that you really are at, and we hope to see a rematch. It'll be on Chris Eubank Jr as to whether we see it, but I just want to say thank you to him as well, because he gave us a spectacle and a build-up that was incredible, and obviously Beefy has come out on top. Before we finish, any questions to Liam, to Joe?
Liam, how great did it feel to silence someone that was really trying to get in your head in the build-up?
Obviously great. That was always kind of going to be the plan from the start. The fight was made. It'd be great to just beat Chris, you know, the character. But look, that's the way he portrays his career, basically. You know, I said before, and I know this week got out of hand a little bit, but name me a Chris Eubank Jr fight and build up that's being respectful and like shook hands, and you know he hasn't had one. So I knew that was gonna go that way. You know what I mean? But it was just always going to be a good victory to beat Chris. He's a big name. He's probably a bigger name outside of boxing than he is in boxing. It's a strange one with him, but you know he's a big name now, and to have the reception I got in Manchester, I said beforehand, take football rivalries aside, Manchester's good as home for me. I've had some top nights up here. I'm still unbeaten in Manchester. I won my world title here, and that probably topped it again.
The atmosphere was electric, like you mentioned, here in Manchester. I'm guessing that you're thinking about the idea of it back in Liverpool rematch if Eubank takes it. Do you think he takes the rematch and it being in Liverpool as well?
Yeah, you know, he has to sit with his own team and his own family and see if he wants this rematch. But you know, I'm open to anything. I always have been. Open to anything. You ask anyone who's ever dealt with me over the years. I'm not hard work to deal with. But you know, if it's Chris next, it's Chris next. If not, we can sit down, and I've got very good options now. I'm in a good position. I know Ben said Kel wants to fight the winner. That's a huge fight. I know there's talks of Golovkin, so I've got a good position now at 160 as well as 154. So you know, it's again just a win. That was all that mattered today.
Liam, Radio Raheem. Chris has tweeted that you had a great shot. He credited you with the win, and has tweeted that he wants the rematch. You accepting that rematch?
Yeah, I have to. I think, you know, I don't know. Yeah, of course. I said last week, I said 2 weeks ago, I said 3 weeks ago, 4. I beat him once, I'll beat him twice. So it's not a problem, but this has to be right for me now and on my terms. You know, it's not really bothered about the Smith Eubank sign, but the other things has got to be on my terms.
What makes it right on your terms?
Just obviously every, you know, like I said, Liverpool. Obviously the money side to it now. Might drag him down to 157.
A lot of people thought you were past your prime before this fight. Is this maybe the best Liam Smith we've seen?
I had this conversation for the past 2 or 3 years. I know I've got grey hair and I'm 34, but I'm training as good as ever. I'm training as good as ever. I feel as good as ever, and I'm still getting the results I should be getting. So, like I said, I've got a good enough family to tell me once that day is done. I've got a good enough team around me now to tell me to have a think about it. But again, while I'm producing nights like this and results like this, I'm far from the end.
Ladies and gentlemen, we do have a microphone for the press, so if you have a question, please raise your hand on myself and my colleague will bring it to you.
Cool. Go on.
So obviously Chris Eubank Jr had a lot of things to say about Scouse people, and obviously in the arena tonight there are a lot of Scouse people. You've got Darren Till, Curtis Jones, Jamie Carragher. What does it mean to get that win in front of so many of your home fans?
Look, it was just great to get the win in front of just be fans in general. You know, not just Liverpool as a whole. You know, I've got fans all over, so it was great to just repay them fans with who stuck by me, especially through a bit of a sticky week where it got a little bit out of hand with me and Chris. But you know, I take what Chris said with a pinch of salt. I don't, you know, I don't think he means it. A lot was said, so, you know, so that's it really.
One more. Go on. John. Yeah.
Go on, John, can hear.
Yeah.
Hi. Do you think Chris can sort of rebuild and come back in a different way? Could he be different in a rematch? What would you expect from that if it does happen? Because the signs are he's sort of tweeted about it potentially.
Yeah, again, I think he's probably going to have to tweet about it and have to talk about it right away, like kind of an ego and a pride thing. You know, he's not going to say, well, I don't want that rematch, I've just been knocked out. But you might get a different answer in 3, 4, 5 weeks' time when he's sat and thought about it, maybe watched it back. I need to watch it back myself. I can't tell you how thingy it was. So, you know, he'll have a sit down with his team and his family, and he'll decide if he wants that rematch. Like I said, if he wants that rematch, I'll give him it.
And you also, well, you mentioned Golovkin, which maybe before this fight would have been hard to believe at middleweight, but for you, what would be the kind of perfect next step in an ideal world if you weren't tied up with rematch clauses, etc.?
Anyone at Anfield. No, just obviously, like I said before, it puts me in a good position now. I can take like Chris's rankings at 160. Obviously, I don't know whether it might go down well, but I can go back to 154 if necessary. It just depends what happens, but we'll see who comes available and what's right for me, my team, and my family.
All right, thank you. What I will say is Liam Smith took this fight at 160. There were no complaints. There was no requests. There was nothing. He didn't care. All he. Who was that? It's Darren Till. He just wanted the fight. He didn't care when, how, if, when. That was it. And fair play to him and his team, because it was a masterclass and they were so confident, and his proper boxing people is why we love the sport. And he had the pressure of the nation on him tonight, and he had to put up with a lot this week, as I said, and he didn't even flinch, and he's gone in there and put on unbelievable performance. And I think round of applause for Liam and his team.
Thank you. Well done, Liam.
Right. Thank you.